In the foothills of the Smoky Mountains, folks come from miles around to see the future of the Chicago Cubs. For the next half hour, we take you inside America's friendliest ballpark, behind the scenes with the Tennessee Smokies. It's time for Remote Area Medical Bear Trax, inside Smokies baseball. Now let's head out to the Buddy Gregg RV Studios and the voice of the Tennessee Smokies, Mick Gillispie.
Welcome in the Bear Trax. This is an inside look at Tennessee Smokies baseball. The show's brought to you by Remote Area Medical. This week we took the Buddy Gregg RV and Motorhome Studio on the road, and we're here in Johnson City, Tennessee at TVA Credit Union Ballpark. And you might ask why. Well, let me tell you this. Yadier Molina isn't the only similarity, the former player that was with the Tennessee Smokies and the Johnson City Cardinals, between these two franchises. Now Boyd Sports, who owns and operates the Tennessee Smokies, also operates the Johnson City Cardinals. Let's take a look at this week's show. Evan Ellis takes us on a tour of the brand new TVA Credit Union Ballpark renovations. Justin Rock has a look at the strong legacy of success in the Appy League with the Johnson City Cardinals. We'll also hear from Randy Boyd and Chris Allen. Let's join Evan Ellis and take a look at historic TVA Credit Union Ballpark.
They have been playing organized baseball on Legion Street in Johnson City since the early 20th century. But prior to this season, minus the outfield hill, what is now TVA Credit Union Ballpark looks much the same as it did since its last renovation in 1994, and in some spots even older than that.
This stadium right here was built in 1952, so it's one of the more historic ballparks I tell people in all of minor league baseball.
This ballpark, it's a small, quaint facility. With that said, it's got some age to it. You know, it's up there in age, and it needed some work. And the first thing we did is we have to have group sales amenities in order for us to generate some revenue. But you also got to make sure your parent club's happy. And in this case, the Cardinals, they needed some improved amenity.
But when Boyd Sports took over operation of the club in early spring of 2016, management set its sights on making the historic home of the Cardinals ready for the future.
We've been working on this project for, seems like a year now, I guess, ever since the off-season started, actually well into the end of last season. And it was a process to make this happen. But once everything fell into place with the arrangements and the lease, the rest was, what we do best. This is just another year for Boyd Sports.
In addition to a new clubhouse, the most notable change is the new left field party deck, the Perch.
The Perch right now is our newest addition to TVA Credit Union Ballpark. So the Perch brought by Bill Gatton, Acura, and Mazda, but this is our new group area / beer deck, social area, whatever you want to call it. We built this area for our fans to add to the fan experience, and it'll help our group sales and that kind of stuff, adds more amenities. But also, days that's not reserved, our general fans come up here and enjoy it and have a great time as well.
You have to have group sales amenities. In order to have a successful operation, you have to have amenities where groups and companies can come out, enjoy your ball game, and enjoy the festivities, and get your pre-sale numbers up and drive that revenue. So this was the #1 project we had this year, was to give Johnson City an actual facility to serve those purposes.
As soon as this season ends, even more changes are coming to the historic ballpark. But the fact remains that even as the stadium evolves, it still has a historic link to the earliest days of organized baseball in Northeast Tennessee. For Bear Trax, I'm Evan Ellis.
TVA Credit Union Ballpark looks sharp, but they'll continue with renovations in the future. Cardinals have had a rich history of success. Justin Rock gives us a look at the 9-time Appy League champs.
Appalachian League baseball can trace its history all the way back to 1911, including the clubs that would become the Tennessee Smokies. But since day one, they have been playing baseball in Johnson City, Tennessee. The current club that is the Johnson City Cardinals began in the early 60s and started its affiliation with the St. Louis Cardinals in 1975.
We've been a St. Louis Cardinals affiliate since 1975. Prior to that, we had another about 20-year span. We were affiliate of the Cardinals. Had a 10-year span. We were the Yankees. But had professional baseball here for the most part since the 1930s. And a lot of history here at this stadium, at the previous stadium, and then hopefully continuing here.
The close proximity of the clubs, especially in the Western Division, has created community rivalries, and none is bigger than the rivalry between the Cardinals and the Elizabethton Twins.
Probably the #1 thing that makes the Appalachian League so special is just the proximity. In our West Division here, we've got 5 teams within 40 minutes of each other. I mean, this is the only place in the country where you can literally drive down the road 10 minutes and you're at another professional baseball stadium. It's amazing. We literally pull out of our stadium here, take a left, take another left, go straight, and we're in Elizabethan. So this rivalry with the Twins is not only a rivalry between two teams, but it's between two communities. And, the Twins have been there since 1974. We've been here since '75, so it's been back and forth for basically 42 years now.
Baseball in the Appalachian League is a throwback to a simpler time, but don't fret, these guys can still make it to the big leagues. For Bear Trax, I'm Justin Rock.
Who knows, maybe 2016 will lead the Cardinals to another Appy League championship. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll hear from Boyd Sports President Randy Boyd. More Bear Trax coming up.
Millions of people live in fear of sickness or injury simply because they cannot afford basic medical care. Remote Area Medical, RAM, prevents pain and alleviates suffering by providing free, quality health care to those in need. At a RAM clinic, volunteers offer dental, vision, and general medical care at no cost to the patients. Learn more and support this vital mission at ramusa.org.
Buddy Gregg RV wants you to get back on the road. Spring is here and so are the savings with a huge sale going on now at both locations. Save big on 2016 travel trailers with payments on the Salem Cruise Light beginning at only $162 per month. Check these new fifth wheels out. Get the Forest River Wildcat and Cardinal as low as $345 per month. Buddy Gregg RV has been making memories for over 30 years. Start making yours today. Located off I-40 at exit 373 in Knoxville and 407 in Sevierville. Make sure to visit buddygregg.com.
My insurance rates are probably going to double.
But Dad, you've got
Allstate. With accident forgiveness, they guarantee your rates won't go up just because of an accident.
Smart kid.
Indeed. Ask an Allstate agent about accident forgiveness. Are you in good hands?
Contact your local Allstate agent today. Kendall Clark in Morristown or Dale Skidmore in Knoxville. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Welcome back into Bear Trax, an inside look at Tennessee Smokies baseball. And as you can see, we took the Buddy Gregg RV and Motorhome Studios mobile today as we talk to you from Johnson City, Tennessee. And it's great to be joined by Randy Boyd. He's the owner of Boyd Sports, first the Smokies and now the Johnson City Cardinals. So starting to branch out, you're a big lover of the game of baseball.
Yeah, no, I've always loved baseball. It's been a passion of mine since I was little. I could never play, but I could always be a fan, and so I'm just excited to be about being a part of the Johnson City Cardinals.
You have seen a ton of baseball stadiums, not just here in Tennessee, but all the major league parks now.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, it started serendipitously. I was traveling for business, and I could find that I could go to a baseball game on a weekday where, football and other sports you had to be on a Sunday, and I'm usually home on weekends. But next thing I knew, I was at 20 of the 30 major league stadiums. I thought, well, I should make them all. But then they kept closing them and opening new ones. So for the last 2 years, I've been to 39 major league stadiums. A couple of times I've actually made all of them, but then they open a new one. So for the last 2 years, I could say that I've been to 39 and I've been to all of them at least once, except for the new Miami Stadium. I've been to Pro Player Stadium. But I'm happy to report I just got back this afternoon from Miami. Friday and Saturday I get to go watch the Cubs play in Miami at the new Marlins Park.
When you took over running the Tennessee Smokies and bought the team, you wanted to add a lot of local ingredients to what the fans would experience when they came to the park. Is that the same thing you want to do here in Johnson City?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing that I've always loved about baseball, I love the game. But in addition, when you go to those parks, the one thing that I really appreciated was how they reflected the community. When you go to Pittsburgh's PNC Park, they'll have Kanishas and pierogies and things that you would expect to eat in the community in Pittsburgh and the communities there. And it just has a certain Pittsburgh feel, and so I want to do that obviously for the Smokies Stadium, and now here in Johnson City, we want to make sure we bring in the local culture. They've got a really famous brewery here called Yeehaw Brewery, and so Yeehaw's a sponsor and a provider of beverages here, and every way in which we can bring the community into the stadium, we want to.
You walk in and the first thing you see is this gorgeous new double deck. We're actually broadcasting from it right now.
Yeah, the one thing that Doug Kirchhoffer and Chris Allen and the whole management team at the Smokies Stadium has showed me is that people like to have group outings at baseball parks. It's fun just to take your family, but companies, churches, all types of organizations love to have events at ballparks. And unfortunately at this stadium, they didn't have that kind of space. So they've created this new pavilion here that's really state of the art, and it's going to be, I'm hopeful, a real fan favorite.
What was the allure of getting involved with the Johnson City Cardinals?
Well, I've told Doug and the team before that, my interest in baseball would only be being deeper with the Cubs. So if a franchise in Myrtle Beach or Iowa ever came available, I'd love to have more to do with the Cubs, or in my home state of Tennessee. I love Tennessee. I love baseball in Tennessee, and so when Johnson City came available, we were immediately interested.
When you bought the Smokies, you got on board at the exact right time as far as talent goes. Chris Bryant, Kyle Schwarber, Javi Baez. It just seemed like every time we turned around there was another great player. Ian Happ, now throw him in that group.
It's been really exciting watching the team play. I communicate with Tom Ricketts from time to time, usually by text, and I'll point out to them that the Smokies are looking good right now, in the major leagues. Even in Miami, I was counting, but 5 of the 9 players were Smokies players, including Kyle Hendricks pitching the other day. So unfortunately, we didn't do too well in Miami over the weekend, but we're a young team and we still have the best record in baseball.
Randy, what's your strategy going to be here in Johnson City?
It's going to be very similar to what we do back at Kodak and the Smokies Stadium. We're going to make this a great experience for the Cardinals players. This is their first experience in the major leagues. We want to make it a great experience and get their career started off right. And when they're in the All-Star game or in the Hall of Fame, maybe they'll look back on their experience in Johnson City with great memories. We want to make it obviously a win for the Cardinals. They've got to appreciate our role. They've been here for decades. We want them to stay here for decades longer. We want to make sure that all of our employees are happy. You can't have happy fans if you don't have happy employees, so we're going to make sure that we go the extra mile to make this experience good for them. Then of course, the most obvious thing is we want to make it a great fan experience. We want to make sure that the fans love it, so we're going to constantly invest in the stadium, add new features and new amenities. Every year there'll be something new and exciting. If we do all that well, it's going to be a really great asset for the community. The community really stepped up to make this partnership a possibility, and we want to make sure that we live up to our part of the bargain.
Yeah, it's definitely in the Appalachian League going to be one of those places that you got to stop by. Last question though, Cubs and Cardinals affiliates.
Yeah, so I'm thinking if I can make this work out, maybe the next president will appoint me Middle East diplomat of some sort. But no, we're in 2 different leagues, and so it is kind of interesting. But the teams will never play. It is kind of ironic that you'd have 2 great rivalries and have both of those teams. But we'll make it work, and maybe one day I'll be able to see Johnson City Cardinals players and Tennessee Smokies players lining up in Wrigley or at Cardinals Park.
Well, Randy, it was a pleasure talking, and it's going to be exciting to see how things turn out here in Johnson City. But you're the boss. Why don't you take us to break?
You're watching Bear Trax, Inside Smokies Baseball.
Millions of people live in fear of sickness or injury simply because they cannot afford basic medical care. Remote Area Medical, RAM, prevents pain and alleviates suffering by providing free, quality health care to those in need. At a RAM clinic, volunteers offer dental, vision, and general medical care at no cost to the patients. Learn more and support this vital mission at ramusa.org.
Buddy Gregg RV wants you to get back on the road. Spring is here and so are the savings with a huge sale going on now at both locations. Save big on 2016 travel trailers with payments on the Salem Cruise Light beginning at only $162 per month. Check these new fifth wheels out. Get the Forest River Wildcat and Cardinal as low as $345 per month. Buddy Gregg RV has been making memories for over 30 years. Start making yours today. Located off I-40 at exit 373 in Knoxville and 407 in Sevierville. Make sure to visit buddygregg.com.
For achievements in sports, school, or in the office, Brandon's always has the perfect award. For over 75 years, Brandon's Awards and Engraving has listened to your needs and ideas and created custom plaques to trophies that recipients cherish forever. Brandon's also does specialty advertising items, embroidered and silk-screened apparel and gifts. They can put your logo on virtually anything. Stop by on Kingston Pike atop Bearden Hill. Visit Brandon'sAwards.com. The highest quality products and service on time.
Oh, I want someone to get here so I can say, welcome to the Goatees locker room. I'm ready to get this day started. Where's the first customer? Oh, welcome to the Goatees locker room. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you
Good,
doing?
I'm great. Oh, look at this glove. Where'd you get it?
Just over here.
Oh. I got one in red too. It goes great with the blue, don't you think? What else do we have? Oh, a logo ball and a mini bat. Are you playing baseball sometime soon? Because you can't hit a home run with this. Well, that's okay. That's okay. Let's look. Oh, you got a jersey. These are so nice. Where'd you get it?
It's just over here. It's all the other jerseys.
I found another one. And a seat cushion. It's great for my cats. When I bring them to the park, we're going to have photo shoots right on the first base line. It's great. Let's see. Anything else? Do you have anything else you need to get?
I think that's it.
Are you sure?
I think that's it.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
well,
yeah, so.
we can get another one of the claws. They're great in red.
I'm going to look around the store a little bit more.
Arr, I'm like a bear. Miss Slugger? No. Slugger, where are ya? Hello? Anyone else?
Welcome back into Bear Trax, our inside look at Tennessee Smokies baseball. The Buddy Gregg RV and Motorhome Studio is on the road as we broadcast from Johnson City, Tennessee, here at TVA Credit Union Ballpark, home of the Johnson City Cardinals. But we did not forget about the Tennessee Smokies. Matthew Wolf had an opportunity to have a good time with Smokies All-Star pitcher Brad Markey.
All right, fans. I'm here for our first edition of On the Rail with B-Rad Markey. Brad, I've got some crazy questions for you. We're going to start off with a fun one. What would your walk-up song be? Would you choose Celine Dion or Mariah Carey?
That's a very good question. You know, I think I'd have to go with Celine Dion for that one. I think her music just really fills me with love, and it just really shows who I am as a person too.
I do like that choice. I'm a big fan of Mariah Carey, though. That voice is just ridiculous, how high she can get. I don't know. It's a tough choice all around. So I know your sideburns are almost a trademark on you at this point. How many hairs are in your sideburns?
I would love to tell you that, but there's, like you said, trademark issues. I'm actually not allowed to say how many, but I'd say it's upward of at least 73,000.
When it comes to snacking, I know baseball players do a lot of eating in the clubhouse. Sandwiches, crust on or crust off?
Crust on. I know we have a lot of downtime, but you don't want to waste it killing the crust off. So you'd rather just listen to Celine Dion and brush your left sideburn with your left hand. Sometimes my right sideburn, but I'd leave the crust on just to save all the other stuff.
All right, so I heard you were the one to break the ice at middle school dances. I know how they can always be so awkward, but you were the first one to get out there and dance. Can you show us the move?
I can. It's a simple one. It's definitely an icebreaker, but I've been using it, like you said, since middle school, probably since kindergarten, really. So, I'll try to do it right here if there's enough space. It's just, you look at them, you look at whoever I'm looking at, one of these cameras, and just roll your body. And then everyone really just joins into it.
Fans, join us again here for another episode of On the Rail.
You gotta love the sense of humor that Brad Markey showed there in that last interview. One guy, though, that is always synonymous with a good time is our friend the Rally Ranger. Let's catch up with him again this week.
Alright, I'm the Rally Ranger, and I'm here at Smokies batting practice, and I'm going to give you the inside scoop of the Tennessee Smokies batting practice. Important part of batting practice is not just batting, it's your pitchers. It's warming up your pitchers, it's getting your pitchers ready for off days. Now, one of my favorite pitches when I was a young high school player throwing about 100 miles per hour was the Timber Rattler Smoky Mountain Timber Rattler. Now, it's just like the fangs of a timber rattler. Gah, gah. Now, an important part of batting practice is when the scouts show up, then you really got to show up. You really got to fluff yourself, kind of fluff it up. And so you got to really exaggerate your motions when you're catching, when you're throwing, and you're batting. It's very important. Very, very important. All right, now to have a successful batting practice, you must dress like a successful batting practice. And that might confuse some folks. So let me demonstrate the proper dress for batting practice. Now, you got your fair hat like I have on right here. It keeps you your eyes away from the sun that can burn your eyes out when you're looking for a fly ball. It's always common in baseball. You got your handy dandy sunglasses that keep the suns out of your eyes, and then you got your tucked in shirt, your belt, and your pants. Pants are important for sliding because we do practice sliding sometimes in batting practice, and you definitely cannot forget your glove. If you forget your glove, you might as well not bring a bat to batting practice. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for attending batting practice with Rally Ranger. We'll see you later.
Well, the Rally Ranger always seems to be up to some wacky antics. Don't go anywhere. More Bear Trax, our inside look at Smokies baseball, coming up.
Millions of people live in fear of sickness or injury simply because they cannot afford basic medical care. Remote Area Medical, RAM, prevents pain and alleviates suffering by providing free, quality health care to those in need. At a RAM clinic, volunteers offer dental, vision, and general medical care at no cost to the patients. Learn more and support this vital mission at ramusa.org.
The best kept secret in North Knoxville, Legacy Point Apartments. Located just off Shad Road on Pleasant Ridge. 1, 2, and 3 bedroom apartments. They are pet friendly with access to a 24-hour state-of-the-art fitness center and saltwater pool with iconic mushroom fountain. Find out for yourself. Stop by and meet their friendly staff or visit them online at legacypointapartments.com.
This week's Bear Trax Player of the Week is Smokies infielder Ian Happ. After joining the Smokies on the first night of the season's second half, he arrived with a bang, blistering the Pensacola Blue Wahoos with 11 hits, which included 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and 6 RBIs in his first 5 AA games. Congratulations to Ian Happ, our Bear Trax Player of the Week. Tune in again next week to see who will be our next Player of the Week.
Welcome back to Bear Trax, our inside look at Tennessee Smokies baseball as we talk to you today from Johnson City, Tennessee, here at TVA Credit Union Ballpark, longtime home of the Cardinals. But the Smokies have a lot of great things coming up at the stadium. Here's Evan Ellis with a preview.
The Smokies return home to begin a 10-game homestand with a 5-game set with the Southern League North's first-half champs, the Jackson Generals, on Monday, July 4th. Celebrate Independence Day at Smoky Stadium with a $1 Monday featuring post-game fireworks. Tuesday, July 5th is a $2 Tuesday. It's also ALS night. Wednesday, July 6th is Smoky Mountain Popcorn All-You-Can-Eat Wednesday. Thursday, July 7th is a Coors Light Thirsty Thursday. It's also Guns N' Hoses night, honoring law enforcement and firefighters. The series wraps on Friday, July 8th with Super Smash Night featuring post-game fireworks. For tickets and more information, visit SmokiesBaseball.com. We hope to see you soon at America's friendliest ballpark.
That about does it for this week's show. Special thanks to Randy Boyd and Chris Allen for their help and awesome Southern hospitality shown here from the entire crew at TVA Credit Union Ballpark in Johnson City, Tennessee. I'm Mick Gillispie reminding you that Bear Trax will be on next Saturday. You can also watch a replay on SmokiesBaseball.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great week, folks.
You have been watching Remote Area Medical Bear Trax inside Smokies Baseball, airing each Saturday from the Buddy Gregg RV Studios. Join us again next week as we go inside Smokies Baseball on Remote Area Medical Bear Trax.
Millions of people live in fear of sickness or injury simply because they cannot afford basic medical care. Remote Area Medical, RAM, prevents pain and alleviates suffering by providing free, quality health care to those in need. At a RAM clinic, volunteers offer dental, vision, and general medical care at no cost to the patients. Learn more and support this vital mission at ramusa.org.